For months on end, the words reciprocal tariffs have dominated the headlines, and tomorrow, the US President Donald Trump is expected to announce a series of steps against all countries, including India, over what Washington considers unfair trade practices. In fact, the US calls it its Liberation Day. But beyond the rhetoric, what exactly are tariffs all about, and how will this impact India? Let me try and explain in simple terms. For starters, what are tariffs? What is a tariff? In its simplest form, a tariff is a tax on goods coming into or leaving a country. Now, tariffs are often imposed to protect domestic industry from foreign competition. So what exactly are America's concerns on Indian tariffs? America says we have high tariffs. Well, the US has concerns over India's high import tariffs, such as 150% on alcoholic beverages, 100% on coffee, raisins, and walnuts, 60% on automobiles. India's World Trade Organization bound tariff rates average a high of more than 113% for agricultural goods, but its applied rates average 17%. This allows sudden increases up to that higher limit of 113% without violating rules. America says that this big difference gives India the flexibility to suddenly raise tariffs whenever it wants, up to the higher bound of the WTA rules without breaking rules. This, America says, is unfair. India, America says, has strict import licensing requirements for remanufactured goods and refurbished medical devices, and that there are quantitative restrictions on pulses and boric acid imports. There are also non-tariff barriers like bans on animal origin oil and tallow. Mandatory domestic testing of telecom equipment, America says, despite international certifications, is essentially redundant, but America says India still insists on doing it. India, America says, has restrictive dairy import rules requiring certifications on animal feed content. Now, that's what America says. So how does India respond to this, and should India accept everything that the United States is demanding? Now, GTRI has come out with an analysis of what they think India needs to be worried about. So I'm referring extensively to their study here. Point number one, while the US pressures India to amend trade policies for American interests, India must evaluate each demand based on our own national priorities, development goals, and cultural values. The proposed US changes in agriculture, digital governance, and public health could jeopardize India's small farmers. It could jeopardize our food safety, our social norms, also our digital security. India remains open to reform and global cooperation, provided that it is fair, it is reciprocal, and respects sovereignty as a key concept. There is a true partnership between the US and India, but that cannot rest on one-sided demands. India will not sacrifice our policy space, our economic security, or public welfare to appease foreign interests, and that any reforms India does undertake must prioritize the well-being of our people over the profits of foreign corporations.